Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is PokeTCG Gamer back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my Week 4 NPL Majors match in which we played Blake, who is the coach of the Baltimore Braviaries, also known as Moxie and Fernape. If you guys are not subscribed to him already, definitely go check out his channel. And if you guys have not checked out my Week 3 match, definitely go check that out as well. I'll leave that in the description as well. But pretty much we lost last week versus Birb to some unfortunate speed creeping. But we are now 1-2, but we still have a +2 differential. So if we can bounce back this week, we can get to 2-2 with a pretty decent differential. So Blake's team was definitely very tough to prep for, as he had a lot of bulk on his team that he could use. His team consists of the Necrozma, Fernape, which is his Z-Mon, Zygarde 10%, Togekiss, Snorlax, Registeel. At the time he had Jolteon, Almola, but he has since dropped those. Acelgor, Mischievous, and Mega Venusaur. So that's pretty much what we had to prep for. And pretty much this is my team of 6 that I brought. So I started with Victini. We also have Hippowdon, Azelf, Thundurus, Thundersai, Scizor, and Roserade. So first off, we start off with this Victini set. Pretty interesting Victini set. It's Taunt, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, and Psychic. If you look at his team, Taunt and Toxic allows me to hit everything with some kind of status. Toxic is so I can toxic things like the Necrozma. The Snorlax, if it doesn't have immunity, I can toxic the Togekiss, unless it's Scarf at low speed, because with my speed creeping I crept Togekiss, or max speed Togekiss without a Scarf. I can burn the Registeel. I can burn the Zygarde 10% if it wants the hard switch in. I can toxic the Fernape, but I'd probably rather just psychic it, toxic the Almola, Jolteon, and I could Will-O-Wisp and whittle down the Mega Venusaur as well as psychic that and toxic the Mischievous. And Taunt allows me to stop things like Togekiss from setting up, or not setting up, from heal belling, Snorlax from setting up or resting. Could stop Necrozma from healing up, stop Almola from toxicking or healing up, stop Mega Venusaur from healing up, and Psychic is just a general good stab versus his team. Now we don't really have ways, like on the set, to hit the Registeel very hard, but if we can just burn it and taunt it, it's pretty much stopped to the point where I can just go into something else and deal with it. So yeah, that's pretty much my Victini set. It's pretty defensive, other than the speed creeping obviously, and that is pretty much just for the Fernape. As the only way Fernape is really going to touch me is if he goes with something like a Sea Stone Edge set, and even then it's not going to do that much. Or, I mean, it is going to do that. It is going to do a lot, but I'm pretty sure I can live a neutral or like non-boosted Sea Stone Edge from full. So that's pretty nice here with Victini. So next up we have this Hippowdon set with Toxic, Whirlwind, Slack Off, and Earthquake. As you can see, we moved rocks onto Azelf this week. So we have the Toxic, Whirlwind, Slack Off, Earthquake. No Sandstream this week, just because if he sets up rocks, we don't have removal. And things like Victini and Thundurus, I want to give them as many switches as possible. And I don't want Sand to be chipping them down, as well as I have a Sash Pokemon in Azelf, which you guys will see later, so I just don't want Sandstream chipping them down. So with the spread, we are EV'd to live, two Specs HP Ices for Jolteon after rocks, and leftovers of course. So we're EV'd to live 2 Specs HP Ices, and then we just put the rest into defense, and we have a plus defense nature, which helps us out more versus Zygarde 10% and Necrozma. But this thing is pretty much here to deal with the Zygarde 10% and the Jolteon. I expected, if those both come, I definitely expected at least one of those to have Toxic. So that's pretty much that. Toxic, like I said, Toxic is just very nice versus team. Hits the crossbow. Snorlax, Togekiss, Alamola, Mr. Viscid just starts whittling them down. And if he doesn't bring heal ball support, that's going to be very nice for me. And then Whirlwind just to get thing like a boosted Zygarde 10% or just Whirlwind a Mega Venusaur out if it tries to just switch in on me. So next up we have this is Elf with Stealth Rocks, Taunt, Knockoff, and Psychic. I originally had a Fire move over Knockoff, but I realized that I didn't really need it. I think I would rather knock off the Registeel's leftovers than Flamethrower it. This Flamethrower isn't really going to do that much if it's specially defensive. And Knockoff just allows me to get rid of leftovers from so many of his bulky things like Snorlax. I'd rather knock off Snorlax. Like before, I couldn't even touch it, but now I can knock it off. And obviously we have Stealth Rocks and Taunt. Taunt to just stop, like I said, like healing up, or like I guess opposing status moves coming to me. And then Psychic just hits. It's a good general stab. Hits Infernape, Zygarde 10% pretty hard, and hits Mega Venusaur super effective. So that is pretty much Azelf. Max speed, just the speed tie with a Zygarde 10%, and then max special attack to maximize my damage output on Psychic. And I'm minus attack just because I don't need the extra damage with Knockoff. It's really just here to get rid of items. And sorry if I sound a bit congested this morning, as I'm a bit sick. But let's just move on to the next set, in which we have Thundurus here with a pretty interesting set. I originally had a completely different set before I did some mocks, and after mocks I decided to pretty much change it completely. I had Z-Fly in both sets that I had with this thing, but bulk up Taunt, Fly, and Superpower gives me pretty nice coverage versus team. And before I had mixed, and now I don't have to go minus defense or spit F, which is something I didn't want to do in this matchup. And you guys are noticing a little bit of a trend. I have 3 Taunt users so far, which Taunt is just pretty nice versus team overall, as he has a lot of fat, like I said, and taunting and keeping his fat low is just definitely very, very nice. So we have the bulk up Fly. Pretty much if I get a bulk up, I guess that makes sense. If I get one up and I can use the Fly, I pretty much get a kill unless he goes into the Jolteon or the Registeel. Which is kind of why I have Superpower, because that hits those like very hard. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Thundurus set. I am speed creeping. I want to say, I'm speed creeping Infernape. So this gives me another check to Infernape as well, as long as it's not Scarf, which I expected to be a Z move in this matchup. Just because any type of Z move, he can make a Z move to. Like, he can make his Z-move do a lot of things. Like, a Fire Z-move is something that I just don't have good switch-ins to. A Grass Z-move is something that can remove a Powdon for something like Jolteon or Zygarde to do work. So you can go a lot of different ways with his Z-move. But pretty much this Thundurus set, I definitely expect to put in some work. It just has a very decent matchup, and firing off Z-Flies versus, like, his Mega Venusaur or something would be very, very nice. So next up we have, this normal Scizor, an offensive set with Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Swords Dance, and Roost. This set can do a ton of work. He actually struggles with it immensely. Mainly the main reason I brought this thing is because after Rocks and a Spike, with Bullet Punch I'm guaranteed to kill the Zygarde 10% unless it has like Bulk or Coil up. And also this allows me to check the Togekiss, but not only that, +2, this thing can do a lot of work. If the Mega Venusaur is weakened enough, and the Registeel is gone or weakened enough, and the Infernape has a little bit chip, then I'm in a good position to possibly just win. So we have enough speed for, if you want to go 8 speed in a Necrozma, or if you want to go 16 speed into his Mega Venusaur, or Creeped for both of those if you just want to throw a little bit of speed in those. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We had the max attack to maximize our damage with bullet punch, and then the rest into HP and a little bit into defense. So that says, or hopefully this thing can clean up late game when everything is weakened. But if not, then hopefully we can just sweep with Thunderous. I mean, obviously I doubt we are, because one of our moves, or one of our attacks, is Fly, which is 2-turn after the Z move, so but we'll see. So last up we have this Rosary set. Now this is a pretty interesting set. Actually, this should be 80. So this is the Rosary set. 248 HP, 80 in special defense, 4 in defense, and 176 in speed with a plus speed nature, which is creeping. Actually, hold on. I'm actually not too sure that I actually brought this exact spread to the battle. I guess I might have, but so yeah, either way we have this spread with Synthesis, Spikes, Growth, and Sludge Bomb. I'm actually almost positive that that I brought a more specially defensive spread. I'm gonna quickly check the message that I sent to Blake with my team. And I brought, let's see. Okay, I brought a, no, I did bring that spread. Okay, I was just making sure. And I brought 84 in spread. Okay, so yeah, I brought this set. This set is designed to switch into the Mega Venusaur, as I actually struggle to pivot into that thing, as you can just throw off Sludge Bombs and HP Fires. So we have Synthesis for recovery, Spikes that just hazard stack him, as he only has one remover, Growth, which allows us to 1v1 the Mega Venusaur, and Sludge Bomb just because it's nice general stab versus team, other than not hitting the Registeel. But this is a SPDF set, so like I'm not going to be hitting the Registeel anyway, and this gives me, I guess, a backup check to his Jolteon, and this also gives me something to pivot into the Misdreavus, which I didn't have before, as well as something to pivot into the Selgor, which I didn't have before. And this allows me to hazard stack him, like I said, this better out helping Scizor and Thundurus. So that is going to be this team builder, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And I don't know why I did that, because we're about to do the replay. So I will see you guys when I have the replay set. And we are back, guys, with the battle versus Moxie Inferno, aka Blake. So look at the team. Looking at the team they brought, he brought a lot of what I expected. He brought the Infernape, which we have to be wary that it could be a Zmon. He brought the Venusaur, which is probably going to be some kind of SPDF set to deal with my special attackers, I guess, like Thundurus. And I guess just pivot around Scizor into Powdon. He brought Jolteon, just to Volt Switch around, and it's faster than my entire team. He has Misdreavus. Not sure what that's going to do right now, but it's definitely probably going to be a bulky set with that can spread Toxic or Will-O-Wisp with Hex. He has the Alomola, which just is a general nice physical wall, or just a mixed wall probably, to deal with things like Victini and Scizor, I guess. And he has the Zygarde, which could be Banded or Dragon Dance, I was thinking, just looking at his team. It could be some kind of Z Infernape to just kill off my Powdon so that Zygarde can do work later. So that is the team that he brought. If you guys have not seen my team, obviously just go back and watch the team builder, I guess. I'll put something in the description this time for at what time the battle starts, since I've been forgetting to do that, and some people don't like to watch the team builder, I guess. So that is gonna be it for this little brief talking. Let's get into the battle. Let me just make sure I'm not a retard and have that off and normal. Okay, so we have I let off with my Azelf, basically just to try to get my rocks early. If you let off with something like anything but this. So because I let off with this, I decided to not set up my rocks and save this guy for later, which you guys will see how that turns out, how keeping my Azelf stash intact works out later. So I go just out into my power down as he shadow balls, and that does 19. So that pretty much revealed to me that he is pretty much a no boosting item, which is pretty nice for me. So now he's just gonna go into his Venusaur, I think. Or no, he goes into his Mischievous. I definitely considered Toxic in there, but I thought Venusaur would be his initial switch. So now he just taunts as I try to Toxic and I can't. So now we're just gonna have to try to pivot around this thing. So I go into my Roserade as he Will-O-Wisp. I have Natural Cure, so I can get rid of this if I need to. And now I'm just gonna set up a Spike. Honestly, as Spike hits everything for 12 damage except for this thing, as he hexes and does 33. So now I kind of know I can beat this 1v1. But now he taunts, so now we have to start pivoting around this thing, as he could fire off a Will-O-Wisp, but I'm pretty sure he's just gonna fire off a Hex. So I go into Thundurus, as he does fire off that Hex, which is very nice for me. As now he's just gonna go into his Jolteon, and I just taunt, trying to not get burned, as I didn't want to waste my Z move. As now he doubles back into Mischievous, predicting my Powdon, so very solid play on his end. But I'm just gonna go right back into my Roserade, as I really have no reason to. And looking at his team, like, he does not have good ways of switching into my Roserade, even though I don't have special attack investment. Like, I can just throw off Sludge Bombs and Spikes for free. As now I'm just gonna throw off a Sludge Bomb as he goes hard into the Venusaur, which I didn't really understand. I thought he could just stay in and possibly just burn me and just start hexing me because I was taunted. But I just threw off a Sludge Bomb trying to get a poison and just chipping the Mischievous down. But he does go into his Mega Venusaur, and you guys are gonna see I throw off a Sludge Bomb, and I do get a crit, bringing him down to 45. But the only thing the crit mattered for really is that he died to a Spike. Because as you guys are gonna see, he does not heal up and he throws off a Sludge Bomb. So if he was mad about the crit because he wanted to save this thing, then he should have synthesized. But the crit, basically, if I didn't get the crit, it would have been around 25, leaving him out of range of the Spike. But if I just got up rocks, then he would have been in range of rocks and a Spike. And you guys will see what I do with rocks later. But basically, his Venusaur is now dead. He doesn't have hazard removal. I don't over predict. I just Sludge Bomb here. I could have set up a Spike, but like I'm not going to because he doesn't have any reason to switch this out. So now he goes into his Infernape, as I'm just gonna go into my initial switch in my Victini, as I'd rather keep my Powdon healthy for the Jolteon and the Zygarde. So he just throws off a Flare Blitz, doing 22%. And now I'm just gonna throw off a Psychic, I think, seeing if he wanted to like stay in, or if he had like Ground EMZ or Rock EMZ. But I just throw off a Psychic, and it does like nothing to this Alamo, as he reveals the eject button. Which, another thing I didn't really understand. I hope that he'll explain it better in his team builder, because I wasn't really sure. Like, he doesn't have anything to trap me with, and that's usually what eject button is used with. But I guess it's to just get in his hard hitters for free, I'm gonna assume. So I'm at 91%, very comfortable with that for the Infernape. So now he goes into his Jolteon as he Magnerizes, as now he throws off an HP Ice, does 36, and this is why I think that if he just had Toxic over Magnerize, I think that would have been a lot better. Just because he could be wearing me down, and the Magnerize, like, I can't hit him with Earthquake, but I can still just heal up versus him and just beat him 1v1 because he doesn't have Toxic. So I guess Infernape, which is kind of scary. So he does actually double out into his Mischievous, as I double out into my Victini. So now I'm just going to throw off a Toxic. I want to get this thing worn down pretty quickly, as this is one thing in the way of my Scizor. As he taunts, which predicting my Rosa, which is absolutely perfect. Best case scenario, couldn't have asked for anything better. So now I have a Toxic off of this thing, and I am completely in the front right now, as I just go into my Roserade now, predicting the Hex. And now I can just throw off, or not throw, Now I'm gonna set this up, and if he wants to taunt me, like, by all means, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna double into Infernape, as that is what he does. Like, I could have thrown off a Sludge Bomb, but I didn't want my Roserade to be that low. Then again, I mean, it's only here now for pretty much the Alamola and the Mischievous, but still, I did want to keep it pretty healthy. So he does go into his Infernape as he Earthquakes. I'm making a pretty nice prediction, and I thought about this for a long time. I was like, okay, could he be Z Earthquake? If he is, do I want to even scout for that? Because Earthquake is not a roll from this range. I'm now at 58 after leftovers. He cannot kill me. He needs a crit. And I did think about this a long time, and I ended up clicking Psychic. And when I did, he was still thinking. So at this point, I knew that he wasn't Z ground because he would have already clicked. So now it just goes into his Alamola as I just click Psychic and do 26%. And I'm pretty sure I actually just I taunt here, predicting him to Wish, but he actually just knocks off. So now my Victini is in a awkward position. But now I just double out into my Roserade as he goes into his Jolteon, and I'm pretty comfortable, I think, just staying in, taking the HP Ice. It only does 43 because it has no boosting item, as I just do get Sludge Bomb, and I do get the Poison, which is a bit unfortunate because now that puts him in range of a Spike. But I can't really control if my Roserade gets poisoned or not, so I just Synthesis up here. Best play. If he goes for HP Ice, then I'm at like a good amount of health, like 75%ish. But he does make a nice play going into his Infernape, which I mean, that was actually probably his optimal play because he knew I was going to Synthesis, and this gave him a free switch into Infernape, which he was going to get if he sacked Jolteon, but now he has the free switch and a sack, so definitely good play on his part. I just sack off my Victini as he Flare Blitzes, and obviously I'm in range of another one, but I thought he would just click Earthquake and be safe, which is what he does. So now I can go into my Azelf and just throw off a Psychic, I'm pretty sure. Or actually, I think I throw off my Rocks. Yeah, I throw off my Rocks, predicting him to sack his Jolteon. I didn't think him going for Flare Blitz in that situation was very ideal for him. Just sacking off his Infernape, which is his best Mon to pressure me still, even though it's low. But now we have the Rocks up, and Jolteon dies to Rocks, and a Spike. Infernape has one more switching into those, so that's very nice for me. I do want to keep my Azelf Sash intact at this point, though, as that's still nice for the Infernape and the Zygarde. I go to Roserade, and he just hexes, doing a nice 19%, as now I can just throw off a Spike, getting just more damage off on his team as he taunts, and once he taunts, now I can just start spamming Sludge Bomb. I have Hazards up. He doesn't have a good resist to Sludge Bomb, as I just do 15. As he Mementos. So, because he Mementoed, just want to let you guys know that this is a kill for Roserade. So that is Roserade's second kill of the game, because it died in front of the Mischievous. That's how the NPL does its kills. So every death is accounted for. So basically, he coils here. I go into my Powdon. I know I can take pretty much any hit, unless he crits Outrage, but he does go for Earthquake. As I just Whirlwind, I could have slacked off first, but I wanted to play it safe. I didn't want to risk any crits, as he does get his Alamola. So now my Powdon is kind of low, but I knew I could take any one hit, and if he knocks my leftovers, it's fine. So now I slack off. I'm back at a good amount of health. As I go into my Roserade, and I was pretty sure he was just gonna double knock. His Roserade is pretty obvious, but now I just get to throw off another Sludge Bomb, as that actually doesn't do that much, and he Healing Wishes, so everything is just dying in front of Roserade, as he Healing Wishes his Infernape back up, which at this point, it was actually pretty threatening, but I still have my Thundurus with its Z-move, so I just sack off my Roserade here. As much as work as Roserade did, I didn't want to risk him setting up or anything, so I just sack it off, and I knew I had a guaranteed Sash Azelf to check it, or a guaranteed Z-Fly Thundurus to check it, as he already revealed he's not Scarf. So Roserade, now, if it has 3 kills, it could still potentially get 1 more, depending on if Jolteon dies to Spike or Rock first. So Roserade dies. I go into my Azelf. I just click Psychic, as he does sack his Jolteon, as it decided the spike first. So Rosary gets 4 kills this game, which is very, very amazing. So now he goes to his Zygarde 10%, as I am just going to Psychic here, as he just extreme speeds, trying to just kill my Azelf, but he just not risking a speed tie as well, and he does not, so I just Psychic, and now he goes to his Fernape, and I have no reason to switch. I'm just gonna Psychic, as he fakes out, and then only does 22, and he reveals his last move in Mach Punch, doing 18, and Azelf picks up 2 kills this match, and that is going to be good game to Blake. So we pick up a nice 4-0 win, bouncing back from our loss to Bird, as we are now 2-2, +6, and this puts us at 4th in the conference right now. So we are in the playoffs right now, but barely. Obviously, I do want to keep winning, keep climbing in the standings. So yeah, that is going to be game 2 Blake. I'm very happy that Rosary picked up 4 kills and Azelf picked up 2. The main difference in this match, I think, was that Blake did not bring Stealth Rocks, and he did not bring Hazard Removal. Obviously, you can't really knock him for not bringing Hazard Removal, considering his only one is Togekiss. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this game, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, but before I go, I do want to say something, that I did make a pretty good amount of waivers, so I did change up my team a bit. The 6 Pokemon that you see on your screen of mine, of course, are still all on the team, but I did make some changes. I'm gonna do a waiver video probably Monday, so the day after this battle goes up, and you guys definitely make sure to check that out, probably Monday in the afternoon Eastern time. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.